when triangles are similar, this means one triangle or any object, any two similar objects, one is proportionally bigger than the other. Proportion means they increase by the same amount. Each side increases by the same amount. The corresponding angles, not just all of them. For example, this 90 degrees angle here corresponds to this 90 degree here. They will be congruent. The angle here at B corresponds to this angle here at B prime, and they will be congruent if these two triangles are similar. And also the angle at C will be congruent to the angle at C prime if these two triangles are similar. The second rule for similar triangles is that the sides will be proportional. That means that the ratio of the sides are equal. Okay, so what will be the ratio of the side? The ratio of corresponding sides. This side 20 meters corresponds to this side that we do not know. Okay, this side 12 meters corresponds to this side that we know is 3 meters. So because these two triangles are similar, then when we divide this number by this number, what we get will also be the same number that when we divide this by that number, we get this one. All right? So we don't know this side. We have two things to do. We want to find the scale factor, and then we will also find the missing side, the missing length. Okay? So the scale factor and the missing length. Okay, we don't know this length and we don't know the scale factor. So let's start with the scale factor. To get the scale factor, we divide 12 by 3. So scale factor is 12 divided by 3, and our scale factor is 4. Now this number 4 tells us that the movement, that the transformation from this triangle to this triangle is a division by 4. Okay, if we were to go from the bigger triangle to the smaller triangle, we divide each side by 4. We divide each side by 4. And if we were to go back from the smaller triangle to the bigger triangle, we multiply each side by 4. So that said, we can use that scale factor to find this missing side. Okay, we know that this 3 right here, for it to go to the bigger triangle, we multiply by a 4. Now, what number do we multiply by 4 to get 20? Okay, the converse says, when you divide 20 by 4, which number do you get? Okay, the converse seems to be easier, so we go from 20 to this number that we don't know, we divide by 4. So 20 divided by 4 is 5, and now we know this side of that triangle is 5 meters, because this one is measured in meters, so this will also be 5 meters. So that is how we can solve problems involving similar triangles. Let us continue to use the proportionality law for similar triangles. Now, one problem that will often come up with similar triangles is when the two triangles that are similar are combined in the same triangle. Okay, sometimes it is difficult to see that there are two similar triangles in this whole figure that looks like one triangle. So there's a triangle right here, and then there is a bigger triangle right there. So we have two similar triangles in there. And we also have the corresponding angles that will be congruent. Now that said, let's use the proportionality rule for similar triangle. Proportionality, or the ratio of the sides. So clearly we can see that we do not know this height of this smaller triangle here, but we know the base. All right, for the bigger triangle, we know both the base and the height. So, the corresponding sides for this triangle will be the base of the smaller triangle and the base of the larger triangle. Same thing, the height of the larger triangle is similar to the height of the smaller triangle. So the proportionality rule says that if we start off to write a ratio for proportionality, then the ratio of the corresponding sides will be equal. That means that this height for this smaller triangle divided by the height, 18 feet, for the bigger triangle will be the same number as when you divide the base of the smaller triangle, which is 6, divided by the base of the larger triangle, which is 27. So now we have an equation of proportionality that we can solve in multiple ways. One way to solve this equation is to cross multiply the terms. So we will multiply x by 27 to get 27x equal. We multiply 18 by 6 to get 108. And now, to find what number we multiply by 27 to get 108, we divide 108 by 27. So x is 108 divided by 27. And so the height of this smaller triangle is 108 divided by 27, which is 4. Okay? So the height of this smaller triangle is 4 feet. Okay? So that is how we solve problems involving similar triangle. Another problem with similar triangles comes in when the triangles are combined in this fashion. Okay? So here we want to first identify which triangles are similar. Okay? So first we identify the triangles that are similar. So these triangles are considered to be similar. So the ratio, the proportionality rule will work. Let's use the proportionality to find the missing sides. And in this case, the only missing side we have is that y meters there that is represented by a variable. That tells us that we don't know what this height here is. We want to find what it is. Okay, so corresponding sides, this height here corresponds to that height. So if we're starting with the smaller triangle, then we have 10 divided by y equals, okay, so we started with this smaller triangle, we continue with this smaller triangle, 21 divided by 45. 21 divided by 45. Okay, so this side corresponds to that. Okay, so we do the cross multiplying again to get 21y equals, now we multiply 10 by 45, 21y equals 450. Okay, so y equals 450 divided by 21. So 450 divided by 21. And now we know the height of that triangle. It is 21.4